Do you believe in life after death? Do you believe in the paranormal? And do you believe that you can contact them? Well, what if you could contact them from an app on your phone? Those are the questions that Nathaniel Elwell is posing in his book, Downloading for the Dead, Investigating Paranormal Applications. An excellent book titling all of his investigations and findings of certain apps on his YouTube channel, with a foreword written by Matt Warner. This is an excellent quality book, and I would recommend this to any fans of the paranormal, anybody who wants to investigate, or skeptics who just want to have a laugh. This is Roxxi Black.
And welcome back to another episode of Tease the Nation. We're going back to a sleazy time in glam, so make your way down to the Troubadour, get yourself a drink, and get ready, because the show's about to begin. And our headliner for today is Bobby Boa Diaz from the legendary Alleycat Scratch. How are you doing today, Bobby?
Doing great. I want to go to the Troubadour and get a Long Island iced tea because that was my jam at the time.
Oh,
I've been wanting to go for a while.
whenever I'm able to drink, I'm getting that.
Oh, I know you will. All right.
The Rainbow made the best Long Island iced teas.
Yeah, I also heard they have really good pizza from everyone that I've heard.
Yeah,
I have too.
Yeah. All right, let's get this started. So, Alleycat Scratch recently announced that you'll be remastering Deadboys in Trash City. What was the motivation behind it?
There's a lot of motivation behind that. We have a long history of basically being ripped off. So this is kind of us regaining control of everything in a way. So yeah, it's a very long story. I won't bore you with it, but each release that we've had, somebody has taken advantage of us in some way. We just don't have the resources like time and money or know-how to combat this stuff legally. So it just kind of is the way it is. It's like our last release, even though it's with the same company, he was using like a third party person to distribute digitally, right? So like CD Baby, Apple Music, and Spotify. We even took him to court. We won, but he still has not stopped cease and desist with all that. And I've reached out to some of the other companies too, and they just kind of ignore me.
Dang.
I'm so sorry. That is terrible.
Yeah,
to have that happen to you.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, we found all the master tapes. Eddie just redid Roses on My Grave. He added some guitar tracks to it and redid some of the other parts of it. He created a whole music video around it, and he's working on another music video too. After Alleycat Scratch and stuff, we all basically entered into television and film industry. So Eddie's an amazing, talented 3D animator and all this, stuff. He's just very creative in that with all that stuff. And Devin and I were television and film editors. But he's kind of taking the reins and revamping all this. I talked to Steve at F&A Records, and we got all the original tapes baked. I guess they throw them in an oven and they do a transfer. And so we have all the original stems and stuff, and we're sending them out to be remixed. So it's remixed, so reimagined, remixed, remastered, and reinvented even. So it's called Return to Trash City.
Ooh. Yeah, I was going to ask you guys how you got your deal with F&A Records. I was wondering if Eddie having his music from Resurrection Mary had anything to do with it.
I think no, it was the other way around. I think because F&A released our Deadboys in Trash City and Encore. I'm sorry, Last Call. And and then from there, that I think that's when Eddie found out about F&A and then how he did the Resurrection Mary stuff. I'm not exactly sure how he wound up with F&A. I think it was through us, through the recommendation.
Yeah. So what can we expect from this album, do you think?
Well, the cool thing is, it's like I said, Eddie wrote a few extra parts there, and with modern technology being what it is, better than it was. So it's going to be, like I said, remixed and remastered. So we're hoping to find some nuances, new ways of doing things that'll make it sound even better.
Is there a track that you're really excited about?
Roses on My Grave, yeah, because it's
Of course.
'cause he, like I say, he took it, he tore it apart, and this is so funny because poor Eddie, because he used some methods to pull apart some of the tracks, so he messed with the tempo a little bit, and tightened up the tracks, and like I said, added some guitar tracks to it, added some more sound effects to it, and sweetened it up some more. But he didn't know I actually had the master tapes at the time, and that he could have just had the stems originally. So it was a lot of extra work for him, but I think it sounds incredible, and I'm excited to share it. Very excited for it to come out. There's now an Alleycat Scratch Instagram account for it, and then we'll be doing a page on Facebook, and hitting up all the social medias, and then we're going to be
Oh yeah.
uploading all of our past shows and behind the scenes. We have a lot of home movies because my brother used to follow us around like one of those giant VHS camcorders. So a lot of that will be on social media, and yeah,
Yeah.
well, I'm probably gonna do some like behind the scenes and interviews and stuff like that about what we've been up to and things like that.
That's gonna be really cool because I loved watching the videos from like the Troubadour and stuff.
Yeah.
That was
Oh, cool.
absolutely awesome.
Yeah, so you'll be able to see all of them, and we're designing a T-shirt right now that's gonna have like all the dates on the back, like a tour shirt, and it's fun. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, sounds
That does
awesome.
sound like it's gonna be really fun. And
Mhm.
I'm very happy that you guys are able to do this again because I know that it's gotta be difficult having all this work taken from you and feel like you've spent all this time and you've lost so much over it. And that's gotta suck. So
Yeah,
I'm really glad you guys are reinventing yourselves.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, and it's just been we've just been taken advantage of, really. So you're just taking advantage of guys that can't really, afford to take care of that. It's not
Yeah,
even so much that, it's just we don't have the bandwidth for it. We're trying to survive and live. I don't have time for a legal battle.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I feel like that's
it's
the unfortunate
understandable.
reality of the music industry. You hear so many stories of that, and it's just it's horrid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
All
very
right.
sad.
I do have to ask, were you surprised about like the amount of younger fans that were excited about the re-releasing of Dead Boys in Trash City?
Yeah, it blows me away all the time. As a matter of fact, I'm wearing this shirt actually for my friend. He's in a band called Affair. They're in Lisbon, Portugal, a Portuguese
Hmm.
band. I met him at the Viper Room probably about 5 or so years ago, and he was a fan of Alleycat Scratch, and he was there to see Blackboard Jungle and probably Glamour Punks and stuff. And we became really close friends because I'm Portuguese, and so I guess we kind of seek each other out. But last year they released an album and they recorded "Take a Bite Out of Me." So, and I got to go to Portugal. Actually, I was there last year. I think the date was the 24th, and I actually got to get on stage with them and play "Take a Bite Out of Me." So it was so much fun, such a great honor. And then I was talking to the lead singer after, and he was saying that how Alley Cat Scratch was it for him when he was in high school. I was like, it just made me feel really old, but it just made me think about like when I was in high school, like my favorite band was Hanoi Rocks. So
Hmm.
I was basically there. We were basically their Hanoi Rocks.
Yeah.
So I was just like, oh, man, that's the coolest thing, best compliment ever, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I know
gotta
a
be a
couple
huge
of bands
compliment.
within our scene, more specifically a band out of Greece called Stiletto Strut.
Oh, really cool.
Actually got their name from your song Stiletto Strut.
Nice.
And then there's this band, I think they're out of Spain, called the I forgot, but they have a song called Trash Boys in Dead City. So it's just the title but reversed. Yeah.
Right. Nice. So where do you guys are located at?
So I'm from
Um,
Maryland.
Mhm.
I'm from Florida.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're all over the place here, but
Hmm.
we're all connected by a love of music, and that's what's important.
Yeah, that
Yes,
is very cool.
absolutely.
So, what can you tell us of the 90s glam scene in LA? What are some of your favorite memories of the
Oh
time?
man, there's so many memories. Like the Long Island iced teas at the Rainbow. Um, yeah, I remember downing two of those. Devin sitting right next to me, and I just like puked between my legs. And and then I hear this from Devin because I don't really remember it. He says, "You lifted your head, put out your finger, and said, 'Can I have another?'" So That was cool. I don't know. But I think what some of my favorite moments though are like was handing out flyers and meeting everybody, and the sidewalk was so packed with people. You had to walk in the street to get around them, you know? So it was just everybody hanging out, having a great time. So many people, so many bands, just
Yeah.
jamming together and gelling, and I still talk to a lot of those people today. We're still good friends, I talk to Devin all the time still, Eddie once in a while, and it's great, and it's great to get all this back together.
Yeah. I'm kind of jealous of that a little bit, the camaraderie of your scene. Because, I mean, I'm not going to be picky. We have a great scene, but we don't have, handing out flyers or hanging out at a bar together.
Oh yeah, yeah, and then you meet people like
Yeah,
and then you wind up at different parties, different houses, and I just cannot. It's just impossible to describe
right.
the amount of people that were there. No cell phones.
Hmm.
Some people had pagers at the most, right? And yeah, it was
Yeah,
fantastic.
yeah,
I wish we had it. There is no scene down where I am. There is nothing. That's also because the part of Florida I'm in sucks. So
yeah. I
You
get
guys,
M3.
you guys
That's,
ever come out to California at all? Because like once a year, the Blackboard Jungle has their reunion, and
mhm,
that's about as close as you can get, I
yeah.
think.
I went out to San Fran, I think last year or the year before.
Huh?
But that was about the closest I got to LA.
Uh,
Yeah, I'm hoping to fly out to Cali soon,
uh,
preferably after I turn 21, so I can get to all the shows that I want to get to. But I
yeah.
really want to see the Peppermint Creeps in there.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
They're still playing?
They do like a show every now and then,
Okay,
like
cool.
once a year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm kind of out of the scene a little bit outside of like I said, Blackboard Jungle. It's like that's our kind of our reunion that everybody tries to go to and stuff.
Hmm.
Eddie was in a band with the singer Kenny called
Hmm.
Jet 68. I don't know if you
Hmm.
guys ever heard of them
Yeah,
or
I've heard of Jet 68.
but while Blackboard's on stage, then Jet 68 comes on and does like three or four songs too. So and they were a great band. I loved that band a lot.
Hmm.
Great album that album that they came out with. And of course, Blackboard Jungle is pretty much one of my favorite bands. So is the Glamour Punks still. They're amazing. Actually, I'm working on a documentary about the Glamour Punks. Hopefully, I'll be able to finish it this year, but it's been slow going, to say that. I've been through a lot the past 10 years, so been distracted. But I think I'll be able to focus in January and get it done. And my hope for it is to release it in theaters around that show in June.
Hmm.
So that
That
way,
would be exciting.
everybody that's coming from out of town will have the opportunity to also see the documentary, hopefully at a theater in West Hollywood, near the Viper Room.
Yeah, that's gonna be awesome because I've been really wanting more documentaries around that like 90s and early 2000s glam scene because I feel like it's
Yeah,
completely wiped under the rug. Like no one pays attention to it.
yeah. And once I'm done with that, my next plan is to do an Alleycat Scratch documentary, but using AI. So it'll be like images of us back then. I'll just do
Hmm.
deep fake stuff. So it'll be like me talking to you now, but how I looked back then, right?
Hmm.
So Eddie's done some really cool experimentation with AI with some of our photos, and it's just like, wow, it just brought everything back to life. It was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
I, I think the coolest thing I've seen AI do is whenever you can restore photos. So that's one
Hmm.
of my biggest things, especially with old photos of like bands like yours that are a bit grainier, you can restore it and get a pretty decent quality out of it, and it'll look good as new.
Yeah.
That's what Eddie did with the videos that he's using in the music videos that he's creating. He's bumping them up to 4K resolution, and they look amazing. Some of it's a little off, like the guitar, like a guitar neck. The lines are a little weird, not quite
Hmm.
straight. But
Right.
other than that, like we look great.
Right.
The people look great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to take
So
that in mind that it is technology and it's not going to be 100% perfect, but it sounds really cool.
But it's all about yeah, exactly, and it's all about the story. So it's going
Hmm.
to be the Alleycat Scratch story, the documentary, whatever, and it's it'll look cool. Yes and no.
Hmm.
yeah.
But
So
it took 10 years for this Glamour Punks one, so it's probably another 10 years. Just
Hey,
kidding.
I'll
all
wait
right.
100 if I have to.
We'll call you up in about 30 years and see how the
Yeah, see
progress is
what the
going
progress.
along.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Foxy Rocks has actually commented on our post asking if you guys want to play with them again because they apparently miss you.
That would be awesome. I would love to do a reunion, but it's just not in the cards.
Yeah.
Uh Unfortunately, that's how these things go sometimes.
Yep.
Yeah. What are you gonna do? But I
Yeah,
love that Foxy Rocks is always reaching out to try to get people together. I
that's
love
cool.
that.
Roxy rocks. Yeah, they were great.
Yeah.
Foxy Rocks, they comment on all of our 90s glam posts.
Yeah.
I think they miss you guys.
Yeah.
Well,
I've,
we
I've
missed them. Well, it's like I missed the whole vibe, the whole scene. It's pretty great.
yeah. I've talked to Tony and he just wants everyone to hang out at the Rainbow again,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, they do have those Rainbow reunion shows. I've actually never been to one, but yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty cool. I just moved to Northern California from Huntington Beach, so I'll be down there much less, but that's the way it goes.
hmm All right. So what are
Yeah.
your like opinions and thoughts on the modern day like rock and metal scene?
I don't have any. I don't really listen to that music much. The one band that I do like a lot that I thought was amazing, my daughter actually got me into them, is Palais Royale. Um,
hmm
they're
I
like
love Palais Royale.
to
Yes.
me, they're like a modern day glam.
hmm
Then my friend's band Affair, I think they're
hmm
really great. I mean, they sound a lot like the bands I used to listen to back in the day. I listen to them, yeah, yeah, they're Portuguese, but everything's in English, and
hmm
they do a great job. It's funny when he writes sometimes hit me up, say, "Hey, what's the correct American slang for this?" It's like, but other than that, I mean, everything he's got, they're a great band. I think they have like 8 albums out now. So their
I'll have to
newest
check them
one,
out.
the newest one is about a year old now. They just released some vinyl, but it's a great album. I really enjoy listening to it. And I'm
Yeah.
not just saying that.
All right. I
So,
definitely have to check them out after this.
Yeah.
yeah, me too.
hmm
So we wanted to ask, what is your relationship with all the previous members of the band? Do you still keep in touch with all of them, or is it a little bit scattered here and there?
Well, yeah, me and Devin and I are both television and film editors, and over the past 20 years, we've worked on the same shows. We've worked together, and both of his sons are my godchildren. So we have a pretty tight relationship. We played in another band together pre-COVID called Saugus.
hmm
It's more of a kind of I don't know how to explain it, like a rockabilly kind of music, kind of
Oh.
somewhere between Reverend Horton Heat and like Flogging Molly kind of music, but
hmm
not quite,
Mhm.
not with the Irish vibe, more like with the American vibe. Uh,
Yeah.
Eddie, I see once in a while, always at the Viper Room for those Blackboard Jungle shows. We talk every once in a while. He rides motorcycles, I ride motorcycles, and that's about it. Robbie, not so much. So
Yeah.
that's the way that ball. That's all I'm going to say about that.
That's okay.
Understood.
You don't need we don't need any elaboration. That's
Yeah.
fine. We're
So,
just glad that, some of y'all still keep in contact because
Yeah.
absolutely.
friendships that last that long are worthwhile.
Yeah,
Right.
definitely,
Definitely.
definitely.
Right.
And
And
Eddie's or Devin's probably my closest friend.
yeah. And also with some of these bands, you just like, oh, well, none of them are talking to each other anymore and they hate each other's guts. And you're like, "Uh, personally, I don't understand that. I don't know how you can be in a band with someone for 20 years and absolutely hate everybody's guts, but
I mean,
Yeah,
I kind of can. At some point, you're around those people so often, you're like, God, I can't even stand you when you breathe.
okay, well, that's a little different because it's like, oh, I'm annoyed with this person, but with some time apart, everything's gonna be cool again. Because of course, when you're stuck in like a 2x4, you're gonna get annoyed with everyone,
yeah, yeah. And when we moved, we originated here in Northern California. We played, the Omni, the Stone, One Step Beyond, all those places. Our singer Tommy had quit the band, so we'd moved to Hollywood. Then we
hmm
got that singer Michael Michelle. He lasted a little while, and then we found Eddie.
hmm
I forgot where I was going with this, but yeah, that's just kind of how it works, and you get to meet all these people
Yeah.
Yeah.
and maintain these relationships. I'm still we actually with Alleycat Scratch too. I'm still in touch with. Originally, we were a 5 piece. There was two guitars, Devin and this guy Justin, that moved from Salt Lake City,
hmm
and then Justin had left the band too, while we were still in San Francisco. But
hmm
he moved back home to Salt Lake City, Utah. So I was just there a few months ago visiting him. So that was kind of cool. And he's a great guitarist. He builds guitars and he plays in a blues band. So I went to go check out his band. It was a lot of fun.
It's nice.
Yeah. Well, those were all our normal questions. Are you ready to move on to our unserious questions, Roxy?
Sure.
All right.
Oh yeah.
So let's just start off simple. Who's your favorite person, famous person that you've met while working in the music industry?
Oh, geez. Famous person, huh? I don't know. I didn't meet a lot of famous people
All
that
right.
I liked. What's it? Oh, the Bam, the drummer for Dogs D'Amour. He was
Mm,
awesome. I met
yeah.
him. Yeah, I went to England in '93 with my good friend James, who was from England, right? But we met in Hollywood. And we ran into Bam at some pub in England. And Bam was actually my ex-wife's boyfriend, way before we met and stuff. And it was just a coincidence that, Dogs D'Amour happened to be one of my favorite bands too.
Mhm.
And so it was very interesting to meet him. He was very gracious, and we remained in contact and stuff like that over the years, just emails and stuff like this. And he's actually a jewelry maker, and he's like a silversmith, and he makes some amazing art. So I've bought some of his products and stuff like this, and it's just like custom stuff. He's amazing. So probably in the music industry, he was probably one of the coolest people I've met. One that sticks out to me anyway.
What about in the
Yeah.
TV industry? Like,
Oh, TV industry. Oh, James Olmos. He was really cool to me. Yeah, it's like, I don't know, my heroes are like the people you don't know, right? The post-production supervisors and the
mhm.
directors and things like this. But I think Edward James Olmos, I think, was one of my favorite people that I met. Um, God, who else have I met? I don't even think about it that much. Um, rock star wise, like Queensryche, they were really cool. The drummer for Bullet Boys, he hung out a couple of times at our apartment. Really nice guy. Oh man, who else? Dipping down really old when I was a kid, I met Jan and Dean. That was an old surf band, right? So I met them on their reunion tour. I think I was 10 years old, but they were very nice to us. But yeah, I think that's all I could think of right now.
Yeah, it's really
That's
cool that
okay.
you meet the guys in Queensryche. I absolutely love those guys. They're like one of my favorite bands.
Yeah, yeah. I met them even before I was in Alleycat Scratch. It was they played the Cow Palace in San Francisco, and me and my friend handed out flyers for Operation Mindcrime before it was released, and
Hmm.
uh, it earned us the right to go backstage and hang out with them. So we hung out with them for a meet and greet, and they were incredibly gracious.
That's awesome. It's nice that you have good stories of famous people. 'Cause I've heard so many stories of people meeting famous people, and they're like, "Oh yeah, that person's an asshole." So it's like it's really nice that all these people were really gracious and kind to
Hmm.
you because those stick out more than the moments of assholeness.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
And I think
it's
it's
like a
true
it's
humility.
like a bad review, right? I mean, I think I do know more asshole famous people, but you didn't ask that, so I'm not. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't want to breed negativity.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right.
and
Well,
that's completely understandable.
for our last question, can you tell us a little bit about the Alleycat Scratch parties, if you remember anything?
Oh man, yeah, I remember quite a bit actually. They were out of control. One of my favorite parties, it was after a show. No, we lived in what was it? Hollywood Yucca Street apartments, and Yucca Street very much defines it, right? It was ghetto. And but Eddie was really, Eddie was also a tattoo artist, right?
Hmm.
So we had this apartment manager, and she was just covered in tattoos. So she gave Eddie a studio apartment so he could give tattoo work if he gave her free tattoos. He didn't have to pay for the studio or anything like this, right?
Hmm.
So we had a party, or we had a show. We needed a place to have a party. So she told us about a vacant two-bedroom apartment that was on the second floor. So, um, excuse me. So our security guards for the apartment building would only let up women and people with alcohol.
Hmm.
So they were doing the doors for us, and we were all up there, and the place was just packed, and it was loud, and there was no furniture, so everybody was sitting on the counters, sitting on the floors, etc. But I think it was the guys from Blackboard Jungle couldn't get in because they didn't bring booze, right? So they ended up climbing up the walls where the apartment was because it wasn't hard to find because everybody's out on the balcony too. So they were so they were climbing to get into the party on the outside. They were scaling the walls. Anyway, I guess the story goes, as I recall, they wound up in the wrong balcony of of one of the neighbor's place. So they called the cops, and that was the end of that.
Poor
Oh
neighbors.
no.
So yeah,
Oh,
that was pretty awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
and those security guards, they were the best because we were always up to some kind of trouble, and they would. I remember being up once with a few people on the roof, and we had a hot tub on the roof, so we were up there just partying. You're not supposed to be up there, I think, after 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. or whatever it was, and it's like 1 a.m.
Hmm.
Comes up, I'm like, I was about to say sorry, we're gonna go. He's like. And he just turned and walked away. So we kind of got away with everything we wanted to there. So it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I love it. Just it's fine.
Just the
I'm going.
Yeah,
it's too early for this. I'm not dealing with this.
yeah. So yeah,
It's
they were always great to us there. It kind of sucked to leave that place. I forgot even why we left. We got evicted. That's right.
Oh, yeah. Well, it was gonna be better
I
for
guess the
them.
landlord lady got mad Eddie wasn't giving her any more tattoos.
Hmm.
No, actually, she got fired after that, and they replaced her with somebody else. I'm pretty sure it was because of that event.
Okay, that checks out.
I think
That completely checks out.
it
Yeah,
got back to them, or maybe it was just just kind of shows that she was a shady
yeah.
manager or a bad manager, whatever.
Yeah. So I kind of thought at this question I thought it was gonna be a little bit more silly. So I was like, if you could choose any rock star, dead or alive, to make music with, who would you choose?
Oh my gosh. Any rock star, dead or alive?
Anybody you want. It can even be two. It could be a trouble, it can be a thruple, it can be
Yeah,
double, it can be whatever you want.
I would say Hanoi Rocks, Michael Monroe. I've seen him. I saw him in Finland recently. I saw him in Anaheim recently, and he's 70
yeah.
around there, and I've never seen anybody more full of energy on stage at all. And it's so funny because it doesn't matter where he is, he's climbing on something, right? So I was at was it Travista in Finland. It's kind of set up like the whiskey, but it's bigger.
Hmm.
So there's these stairs that go up to the balcony, but he's crawling on the outside of the balcony. And just talking to the people, like singing to the people up on top of the balcony and stuff. And then at the parish and at the House of Blues in Anaheim, there's no place to climb on, but he was jumping from the stage to the bar
Hmm.
and just
Yeah, I saw that video. I saw a video of that.
over to us. Yeah, it might have even been my video you saw. I don't know, but yeah, I think he's the most impressive, most fun, and I wish I could write with him.
I love
He's
Michael.
amazing.
Yeah,
Michael he's like a spider monkey. I swear. I watched
yeah,
that guy's concerts and he's over here, he's like crawling up the side of the wall. And I'm like, Jesus,
yeah.
Michael.
It's like he's gonna fall and hurt himself, and I'm scared. You know,
Yeah, he will one day.
I'm
Actually, he
not
actually,
scared.
he was playing. He was on tour with. Oh, I forgot what band already.
Buck Cherry.
Buck Cherry.
Buck
Yeah,
Cherry.
he got injured somehow, and so he had to cancel some. I think the U.S.
Yeah,
show.
she was supposed to go,
Oh
and she
no,
wasn't able to. She got like backstage passes too.
I got VIP tickets.
Yeah.
It
Buck
didn't
Cherry.
happen.
Buck Cherry. That's another great band. Todd was in a band called Slamhound that we used to play with back in the day on the Sunset Strip, and we used to hang out with
That's
those guys.
cool.
So I didn't know Todd so well, though. I mainly hung out with the bass player, but yeah, they were a fun band. They were always nice and really cool, really gracious.
Yeah. Buck Cherry's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Buck Cherry's awesome. Michael Monroe's awesome. All
Yeah.
those guys are awesome.
I'm
Man,
always like
Hanoi Rocks is the
mildly
best.
infuriated when I hear anyone said, "Oh yeah, I got to go see Michael Monroe live," because I know two people who got to see Michael Monroe live. And if I knew a third person, I might just flip a gasket.
Well, mostly, I was surprised that he was playing in the States as much as he has lately.
Yeah.
But he's always playing in Finland if you ever want to take the trip.
I
It's great.
might have to. I've just concluded that all the bands I want to go see, I'm gonna have to go to Sweden to go see
Yeah.
them. So,
It's a
I can
beautiful
I
country.
can speak a little bit of Finnish, so I'd be able to have like a mild conversation.
you would be able to figure out what is the right bathroom for you to go into.
No,
Well,
actually, I would be able to know what direction I need to go and who I'm talking to.
Okay.
most, most people in Helsinki speak English anyway. It's just like going to Portugal too. It's like I didn't even need to speak Portuguese
Mhm.
because all the big cities, everybody speaks English already.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so our final question for you, because we're sure you probably want to go off and do your thing. Uh, so we got one final question for you, and it's what is your advice for anybody who wants to be in the music industry? You know, as someone who was in it, you know, even if you're not in it anymore, you have experience and you have time, you know, what is your opinions for it, you know?
Don't don't do it. Just kidding. Um, it's all about it's just like anything else. It's all about the passion, right?
Mhm.
It's about like filmmaking. It's whatever. You just got to follow your passion, and
Mhm.
then if you're good at it, and it'll come around. You'll make a name for yourself. It's kind of like that, right? It's like if you believe in something, it'll happen.
Mhm.
So you just got to keep at it, keep creating content, keep creating music, and
Mhm.
don't stop. Play with as many people as you can to become a more well-rounded musician. Don't get stuck in a rut. It's like I had taken music theory and stuff like this in college, and I was all about, I was a guitarist before I was a bass player, and I was all about the music. And then, I joined Alleycat Scratch, and it kind of became about the party and
Mhm.
stuff like this. And although, I still play, I was recently auditioning for some local bands here, just cover bands and stuff. Um, it's like I kind of stopped improving at some point because I got complacent towards the end of my career or towards the end of Alley Cat Scratch,
Mhm.
Don't do that. Just keep going, keep playing, even when glam and rock and roll became kind of passe, right? Kind of grunge took over and changed the whole thing. It took grunge a long time to do that. There were a lot of guys playing grunge before it even took off, and suddenly there was Nirvana. So you never know when it's going to come back around or whatever. And that's the
Right.
cool thing about like Buck Cherry, right? So they were still playing their rock and roll music, because they're very like AC/DC and stuff. They were still Buck Cherry. They
Mhm.
remained Buck Cherry throughout the whole thing, even though a lot of people weren't coming and checking them out. They hung in there, and then they made it anyway, right? Because they were that good.
Yeah.
So just keep swinging, swing for the trees. Be real about it too, though. If you're terrible, you're terrible. No, I'm just kidding. But you got to have a job too. You got to be a realist as well, but
Yeah.
stay in whatever scene that talks to you, whatever speaks to you. Look at Palais Royale. It took them a long time to come around too, but
Yeah.
there's no other bands like them. But they found their niche, and you know what? Most of them are like they're a Canadian band, I think,
Mhm.
but they mostly play in England. I think they actually moved to Europe, so they mostly play in Europe. And
Yeah, they did.
Yeah,
yeah,
Europe and Japan are like the scenes for rock right now. So it
yeah.
makes sense.
So my daughter got to see him. She saw him twice here, and both times I was going to go, and I was like, I don't want to, So I gave my ticket to one of her friends or whatever because they were like really excited to go.
Mhm.
And I wish I would have went, because they were amazing. I saw that they televised one of their shows, and I got that recording, so that was kind of cool. And cool that my daughter got to go see it. So that's kind of fun to see her see that. She listens to my music too, and she introduced her boyfriend to Alley Cat Scratch and all this stuff. And I think his dad listens to us too, and
Mhm.
so it's still going. So that's
Yeah.
kind of neat. So that's even more incentive to kind of refresh the old tapes and the old recordings and bring new life to them and hopefully get them to sound much better. And I think there's going to be a couple of surprises that people aren't expecting in this album.
I bet. And
I'm
let's
super
just wait
excited.
for your daughter's boyfriend to start growing out his hair and wearing guy liner, and then we're gonna have a serious conversation.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Hey, me and him play, he plays guitar and me and him jam whenever we can, whenever we get together. They're in Texas now, but you know, we were playing guitar together last time I went to visit him. So
That's awesome.
yeah.
All right. Well, Glamsters, that's all from us for today. We got to get out of this alley before we get some cat scratch fever. But we want to thank you so much, Bobby, for being with us today. This was truly an honor to talk to you. You are
Fine. I love talking
the
about the
man.
old days. What's that? I'm sorry.
I said you are the man.
Yeah,
Thank you
thank
very
you
much.
so much.